In the movie 1983, there is a scene where the entire Indian team is staring in awe at an incoming batsman. This terror of a batsman is supposed to be Vivian Richards, who even today, after 30 years of his retirement, is seen as one of the most dangerous and destructive batsmen cricket has ever seen. And it wasn't just his cricket that people were in awe of. Such was his swagger, his fearlessness, that in the 17 years that he played cricket for, facing the most dangerous pace bowling cricket had to offer, he not once wore a helmet.
I had no fear about a particular bowler, whether he was going to knock my head off or anything. It was something that I said, if I die out there, die.
Such was his ferocity that many captains playing at the time had gone on record saying that we used to warn our team, no matter what you do not sledge Vivian Richards. So here is my question. What happens when Vivian Richards, at the cusp of a historic, humiliating defeat, is sledged by a 21-year-old? Let's get to know the answer today in today's story, which begins in 1988. Pakistan is on a 5 ODI 3 Test tour of West Indies. The tour by itself was not special in any way, but what was special were the people involved. The first of whom had captained Pakistan in last year's World Cup, lost and retired from cricket, which lasted all of 3 months. This was Imran Khan, the reinstated captain of Pakistan. On the other side though, we had the aging Vivian Richards, who himself could see the writing on the wall. His time on the pitch was soon to end, and with him, maybe the time of West Indian greatness would also come to a close. I don't use the word great lightly here. This West Indian team had went on to win 2 World Cups. They had not lost a single test series in the last 9 years. At home, they had not lost a single test match in the last 10 years. And who, in spite of Vivian Richards being out injured, went on to sweep Pakistan 5-0. So for Vivian Richards, this series at home was a matter of legacy. A legacy that was about to be threatened. On the back of Myanmar and Imran Khan's heroics, West Indies had been defeated by Pakistan in the first test. The 10-year-long home stronghold had been shattered, with West Indies now staring down the barrel of a humiliating series loss. The Lions had been prodded, and their retaliation would be vicious. At the start of the second test itself, Malcolm Marshall and Winston Benjamin ripped through the Pakistani lineup. While on the batting front, the old lion, despite being injured, returned. And despite fighting nausea and cramps throughout his time at the crease, hit a century. Viv Richards was gonna make sure that as long as he holds the reins, his team would not fall. In the battle that went on for full 5 days, among wild ups and downs, among nasty tempers and tantrums, with Myanmar once challenging the West Indian bowlers to hit him in the chest, and Richards once threatening the entire Pakistani team with his bat, somehow, in the end, Pakistan managed to eke out a draw with just 1 wicket. And just guess who had decided to bowl that last over? Yep, Vivian Richards. So, as you can guess, come the third test, there was enough bad blood between the two sides that you could practically smell the gunpowder. All that was required was a spark. And so started the test. Pakistan made 309 runs in the first inning, with West Indies responding with 306. In the second innings, Pakistan posted a total of 262 runs, with 266 runs being the final target. With 1.5 days still left, this match was poised perfectly. It was anyone's game, and it was in this scenario that entered Viv Richards. The crowd went wild, the Pakistani team went silent, with Captain Imran quietly throwing the ball over to Wasim Akram. Wasim Akram, at the time 21 years of age, had been tutored under the mentorship of both Imran Khan and Myanmar. So naturally, expectations were high, but somehow he had failed to do much in this series. But there was one thing he was doing very successfully. That is, making Viv Richards' life a living hell. Richards was having a very tough time reading Akram's bowling. He had actually gotten out 2 times out of 3 batting stints to Akram. Now on day 4, with West Indies already losing 4 wickets, Pakistan was sniffing a victory. Wasim Akram had been given the ball to tame the tiger again. And among his first balls, bouncer. Richards, in a desperate attempt to avoid it, losing his cap in the process. The cap of the West Indian captain, nearly the crown of West Indian cricket, had fallen on the ground. And Akram, on seeing this, emboldened by the upcoming victory, jubilant over somehow troubling the world's best batsman, went close to Richards and said, "Go home, old man. Go back to your pavilion." A 21-year-old youngster was sledging the king. Richards, seemingly shocked, looked on the thin young bowler and replied, "I'll see you outside." A few balls later, the same scene repeated. Bouncer, cap and sledge. This time though, Viv Richards spat on one side and calmly told the youngster, "Don't do this." The youngster somehow sobered up this time and he quickly went to his captain, relaying Viv's words. Captain Imran Khan though, he assured the youngster, "Don't worry about anything. Go ahead and scare him. I'm here." The captain had his back. So why would the youngster hold back? On he went. Ball after ball after ball. Bouncers and sledging. It's to the point that even the last over of the day was handed to Akram, with his last ball being. The Pakistani dressing room was a very happy place that day. All they had to do tomorrow was clean out Richards and 4 other lower order batsmen. The match was as good as done. They would return home, having toppled kings. Her laughter and cheering flowed out of the dressing room when a youngster quietly entered in and shouted, "Wasim, Akram, come out of the dressing room." Akram asked, "Who's calling me?" But the youngster simply repeated, "Come outside." Confused, Akram got up and peeked out of the dressing room where he saw Vivian Richards standing without his shirt, wearing his pads and boots, sweating all over, and staring at the dressing room door with a bat in his hands. Now do remember here, at that time there were not that many TVs or media or even match referees. So there was nobody to interfere in the situation. And with this test match in West Indies, naturally, a terrified Akram nearly ran back to his captain, saying, "Richards is standing outside." The same captain that had actually told him to go ahead and risk Richards' wrath. He now quietly replied, "What should I do? It's your fight. Go and handle it." The shocked youngster tried to convince his captain, "You have developed such a good body. You are asking me with this skinny build to handle it." This time though, the captain didn't even reply. He just walked off, leaving the youngster behind. It's actually unclear how much time Wasim Akram had spent just standing there, digesting his captain's answer. But when he did move, he knew what he had to do. He turned and walked step by step, picking pace with every step he took. With clear intent in his demeanor, he pushed open the door and faced Richards. But before Richards could speak, Akram said, I'm sorry. Nothing like this will ever happen again. For sure." This sudden apology seemed to have caught the fuming Viv off guard. He stood there for some time, breathing heavily, staring down at the youngster. But finally, he said, "You better not, or I will kill you." Now all of this may seem like an empty threat to us today, or even slightly funny somehow. But the thing is, after this day, for the rest of Wasim Akram's career, never ever, even by mistake, did he ever sledge Richards again. In fact, the very next day, he had actually gotten Richards out, nearly sealing the win for his nation. But even then, he did not utter a word. So even though you and me may think nothing of this threat today, but on that day, that young 21-year-old had taken that threat as a life lesson. A lesson that he had to learn all by himself. Now, about the match. Well, right at the start of the next day, West Indies would lose both Richards and Ambrose. But somehow, Benjamin and Dujon would become an unbreakable dam, standing tall amidst blistering Pakistani attack. They would go on to score a total of 61 runs to take West Indies to a victory. West Indies had won, and the series had been drawn. Richards' legacy and the West Indian crown had remained intact, the weight of which could be seen at the time in the West Indian dressing room, where Viv Richards was sitting in a corner, quietly crying his heart out. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a good day.